early.
Yo, we
What
live.
it do, folks?
What up?
What it do?
What
It's
up?
another episode of Early, man.
Yo, episode 51, man.
Episode 51. You know what I'm saying? We're back. Feel like it's been a little bit of a hiatus. You know what I'm saying?
The headphones?
I can hear you. Can you hear yourself?
Not too much.
Your headphones aren't plugged in.
Look at that. Yo, that's crazy.
I do not hear myself, but you hear me? Do you hear me?
Nah, I just hear your voice.
Oh, you just hear my voice?
There we go.
You hear
Okay,
me?
yeah, we
Okay,
activated.
we're locked in. We're
Oh, man.
activated.
I was
All
like,
right.
something feels empty.
He said something feels wrong. I feel
feels
that.
No HD.
I feel that, man.
How you doing?
I'm solid, man. Another Friday.
51,
Feels good.
man.
It feels good to hit Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Like when we get to the Friday and then we do this, like it feels like being home. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like I made it to this. You know what I'm saying? Because the weeks be, you know what I'm saying? When motherfuckers are busy throughout the week,
be feeling like a good summation.
Yes, this is because this is the last thing right before the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
So
100%.
I definitely feel I guess a sense of relief, a sense of like gratitude, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we've been kind of, we've been doing things, you know what I'm saying? We've been having trips, respective trips. We both went down to Miami last week type thing. So we've been all trying to get a grasp on when it is we're going to come back. But, we here, you know what I'm saying? We here with it. We love early. We love tapping in with you guys, whether it's the commute, whether you're in the bed chilling.
I wonder what are people doing right now? Like when we be on and like people be listening, like let me know what y'all be doing. Like,
I know my man
you know what I'm saying? Like what are y'all doing right now? Somebody's blowing up the live with likes. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But I'd be wondering like what people be doing, because when we say like when I be telling people, yeah, I do a morning show, it comes on at 8. Everybody's always like, oh, that's so early. But it's like, well, are you up? Like, are you doing something? You know what I'm saying? Like, what time does your day start? And also, too, like, this ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Some people working that grave shift.
You know what
I'm saying? So respect to that. Like,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't stay up either to enjoy it, especially know that this shit is recorded and you can always catch this joint in ItsNation TV channel.
That part.
On YouTube.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? At any given time. So
Yeah.
you don't have to feel pressure. But, it's always a vibe when you could just tune in real time and, we could do this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because we do respond back, if you guys have any thoughts on what we be saying.
Big facts. So, yeah, man. But also, there's a lot that's, you know what I'm saying, gone down since, I guess, the last time we did this. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Definitely, first of all, not top of my mind, definitely rest in peace to Virgil Abloh. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Last night, we heard, or was that last night or this morning? It was reported that Demaryius Thomas passed away.
Yeah.
Demaryius Thomas is a former football player, for people that don't know, and super young. Like I say former, but not that long ago. Right. He was on the Broncos with Peyton Manning. He caught that pass from Tebow, that like iconic pass from Tebow that sent him to the playoffs. Yeah. He was the one on the receiving end of that, and actually caught that and ran that the 80 yards or whatever it was that Tebow was credited. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like a 60 or 80-yard pass in overtime to beat the Steelers.
I guess that's
and
why
he ran that most of the way.
When we was talking previously, that's why I really guess had him in high regard, because he was their number one for a
He was
while.
their number one receiver.
Exactly. Yeah. He was theirs for a minute, So shout out to the
and like definitely like in the top 10 of receiving at the time when he was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So he was putting up numbers and he was definitely talented. So condolences to him and his family. With Virgil, like I was having an interesting conversation, bro, about how like Virgil's impact on not just like fashion, but like culture. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking about how like he really kind of like upped the taste of, I guess, the younger generation, like made us care more about, and even a generation younger than me, like made us care more about like luxury items and like what I guess changed what luxury items looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like luxury brands now emulate streetwear brands, right, as opposed to vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
And I kind of, I view it differently. I view Virgil as an individual, a designer that was able to keep the traits of his childhood intact as he traversed into these spaces where
the traits of his childhood. That's interesting. What do you mean?
So like the thing is, when your childhood mind is really your most creative, your most imaginative
big
mind,
facts.
the mind that doesn't really listen to any type of constraints or blocks of anything. So, and what you realize is, living in this world, you're always, it's like a never ending battle of shit trying to like suppress that, or like, yo, nah, it doesn't work like that, or to be creative.
That's not how we do things here.
No, status quo.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And so it's like, it's not like a literal thing, but it's just like life and the happenings of life and all of that's always trying to beat that out of you. So when you able to channel that into whatever your practice or whatever your discipline is, then I really think it shines through. So what Virgil was able to do, right, was really able to offer and integrate perspective into what people viewed like design or what it should be, right? Because there's somebody that's coming from a streetwear background, but so he would take something like, for instance, when you look at I'm definitely fast forwarding through a lot, but he definitely had his Pyrex vision, and he was definitely like, off his, being a mentee when he was getting the game, like from the Taz Arnolds of the world or the Karl Lagerfelds of the world. But that off-white, all it was really just a change of perspective. It was like, well, what if we deconstruct a shoe? Deconstruct the shoe and put it in another way. And it's funny because usually a lot of brands, especially like these household brands, would go straight to like, yo, you're taking our shit, like let's go like get on his ass.
Oh yeah, like cease and desist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Hell yeah.
But what you're starting to realize, within the culture is like, and I think we had even talked about
we
it
had
before,
talked about this, bro.
Gucci Ghost, right?
Yeah, because it's Gucci, like there's a fine line between taking something and just flipping it. I mean, that's what these guys do. Like, I remember we were in this conversation started because we were talking about NFTs, and I was in an NFT room listening to somebody talk about, it's kind of the badge of honor for a streetwear designer or one of those kind of artists to get a cease and desist from one of those big brands, because that means that they found you. Like your shit's got so popular that they have to tell you like, stop using our shit, and that's kind of their badge of honor. But then it's a fine line between somebody like Virgil, somebody like Trouble Andrew, where you're doing flips on these luxury brands, and now they are hiring you. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy.
Because these brands are also starting to realize that a lot of these designers coming up, they kind of got a better pulse of like the zeitgeist, or like the age coming up of the youth. And as
like, we want you on our team.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And as a household brand that's been here, you know what I'm saying? What really predicates you still staying here and moving towards the future is literally how the youth is representing to your brand. Like, through time and time again. So now it's like, oh, you guys like remixes and things of that nature. So now when we see these NFTs and metaverses, we'll delve into it later. They're starting to see, well, it's like, oh, well, we can, in a way, if we embrace this, our brand can even be more omnipotent. Instead of trying to fight it. Because there's so many secondary sales these brands are not seeing. And not like I give a fuck about lining their pockets some more, but that's how they're viewing it. They're like, yo, y'all are making bread on my shit. So you know what? I might as well utilize your platform, because you're touching a base of people I can't get to. It's real niche. It's niche, but it's powerful, because those are who are dictating the trends of where you guys all spend your money, the rest of it. So it's like,
and when you see, and so I feel like sometimes here, too, these luxury brands didn't realize that, these price points aren't out of reach for these skateboarders. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It's like you see these skateboarders lining up for Supreme, which costs the same shit as like Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they'll spend on it. They just gotta fuck with it, and it's gotta be true. You know what I'm saying? 100%. And some of the like the designers that we're touching on, they were already in those. You know what I'm saying? In those communities, like they were building them like, in real time. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a full circle thing. You know what I'm saying? So then that shit gets appreciated for what it is, and when you look at back in retrospect, you're like, wow, kind of defined the era, and it kind of set the precedent for how it evolves from here now. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I mean, just honestly speaking, like Virgil wasn't even somebody that necessarily always like inspired me crazily. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respected what he did
100%.
And I appreciate the grind. I always appreciate respective grinds, but definitely now when you look at it in the culminative, you know what I'm saying, just looking at everything that he did and what he left and moving forward, I'm like, yeah, man, that really left a mark and really like planted multiple seeds within like the next generation coming up. So I guess that's really that's what it's about when, you know, a lot of, you know, me and you at least, you know, we talk a lot about just, you know, your purpose being fulfilled and what you're trying to do out here type thing, you know what I'm saying? And God willing, you'd want yourself to be able to do that for a very long time, you know. But whenever, you know what I'm saying, whenever it is your time to go, if you can at least be like, yo, I did that, you know, at least, you know what I'm saying, like at least you did that, you know what I'm saying. I think he definitely did that and then some. So
I think
that's great.
Just on top of that, like I agree 100% with that. On top of that, I feel like a whole nother inspiration to me is when people will talk about like all the shit that you did when you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned so much about Virgil Abloh over the last like couple of weeks, bro. Because like to your point, he ain't necessarily inspire me in any kind of ways, but like of course, like you can't be in culture and not hear his name, not see what he's doing. So I've always been like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga's moving, you know what I'm saying? But now that he's kind of passed, I feel like I've now learned like, oh, like he literally directly influenced this person who I've fucked with for a long time. He literally directly influenced this person who I fucked with for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So like when those types of things happen, or when you see that kind of impact on people that you respect, it's like, oh, like that nigga was in a bag I didn't even realize. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, any influence to like the thought of the age or shit like that, like that's huge. You know what I'm saying? That's huge because just give that 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? The creators and what they're creating is like, you know what I'm saying? You planted that seed. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big really fact, dope, man. So yeah, man. Rest in peace to Virgil. Real quick, or I guess not real quick, but like the next thing we could get into is some of this stuff that's going on in the sports world.
You have anything that was right?
I guess stuff isn't going on in the sports world as far as like drama and shit. Unless you want to bring up AB's fake vax card. This nigga's now.
That's all good. 3 games suspended.
That's what I'm saying. His nigga got suspended. I don't think he was suspended by the last time we had brought it up.
So let's put it like this: like who is your top dogs out of the NFC and the
AFC? So right now the way things are shaping up. No. But let's get into it. Big facts. Because I think the NFL has developed over the last couple weeks. Like there's some new developments. You know what I'm saying? Some teams that look better. Patriots look like the team to beat.
The Bucks and the Patriots. I'm like, bro, ain't that funny? At the beginning of the season, that crazy? That wasn't even a thing. Patriots were like
I guess we need another epic Super Bowl. The first one was TB and TB. You know what I'm saying? The next one got to be TB versus Belichick.
It's like now I actually want to see that. Now it's like I actually don't want to see anything else but that.
And you know what's funny?
Like, I don't want to see a rematch of the Chiefs and shit like that. Who's another team in the
Rams is in the NFC that's supposed to be
I was
going
to see the Packers, but I was like, no, there's NFC shit. Packers, so I'm like, I want to see the NFC.
Packers, Rams, Buccaneers, although the Rams are on a downward trend right now, but Packers, Rams, and fucking Buccaneers look like the teams that could come out of the NFC, right? But rewind real quick. It's funny. Somebody had asked me what my Super Bowl prediction was, and just like without like the first 2 teams that came to mind, and I'm like, I can actually see in the Super Bowl. I said Tampa Bay and New England, and then I was thinking like, oh, that's Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. That's crazy. Like that's crazy. That's probably what could happen, might happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the playoffs is a whole nother beast, though.
AFC is real,
and that's what's crazy is that like the New England Patriots over the last few weeks. I mean, what are they on a 6-game win streak?
They're 9-4 now.
They're 9-4. Yeah,
I think it is a 6 game. They were 3-4.
Yeah, and like they have beat.
It's by committee.
Bro, like they threw 3 passes when they beat the Bills.
It was 3 attempts. You know that I was like,
bro, that's insane.
And they have 3 running backs, and still, even if you have 3 legitimate,
nigga Damian Harris went down, and fucking Ramondre Stevenson came in, picked up right where he left off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then other can't think of their third running back his name, but like he came in, I think he had a touchdown.
For context, you know what I'm saying? It was windy as hell, but still.
Well, but the thing is, like, when people know you're going to run, that's what I'm saying. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I consider them in the upper echelon of the AFC, but when a game of that style happens like that on you, it's kind of like that's deep.
And the Bills have
kind of shows your offense isn't even as stout as you thought it was.
Well, that's what I was finna get at.
I mean, the Patriots defense is serious, but it's like
the Patriots defense is serious. But I mean, the Patriots. I mean, the Bills lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, 8 starters out of COVID that willingly just sat out.
Yeah.
So like people really forgot like the Patriots defense been stout, had chemistry. Like, yo, we're just coming back. We're refreshed actually. Like we're ready to go.
Low key.
Like the players that are ready, that need to be ready to go, we're ready to go.
You know but I definitely have been unimpressed with the Bills over the last like few weeks, bro. Like ever since they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm just like, I look at them like with disgust. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a Bills believer. Like, if you asked me in the beginning of the season, I would have been like, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought this was the year that they go to the Super Bowl. But also, like, I'm starting to realize in the NFL, Pat Mahomes, I guess, might be the exception. But even looking at him right now, he's on a downward kind of like, I mean, he's just like looking regular. But these young quarterbacks, man, like they're young, and like young guys, like, I don't know, they can't be relied on at like week in, week out. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like a lot of this shit is like us putting a lot of like, we have to always remember that shit is a team sport all the way through.
Big facts.
And I feel like the way that the culture is changing, at least within the actual sport, and the way that the leniency of the rules is going in favor in terms of the quarterback, it's like you always want that player to shine. And even though it's always, they've had the largest responsibility, it's kind of more so, it's like people just expect, kind of like, look at Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. They want them to be the one that overcomes. But remember, bro, I'm dependent on what's around me.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the other side of the, like,
the other side of the ball. I don't even control that part.
Exactly.
I hear that.
I feel like we're too much in that critique in that, like, even with like a dude like Pat Mahomes, I'm like, dog, it's just called the league is calibrating to him. He's also going through his growing pains. This is his fucking 4th year. Like, chill.
I hear that. Like, hear me out though. I hear that. And I'm not so I hear that as far as the team standpoint goes, but I guess what I'm being critical of is like the quarterback play. Like when I'm talking about these quarterbacks, I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, when they're going out here and, you know what I'm saying, throwing for 150 yards and 2 interceptions. It's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna blame you for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and then also too, like when I'm talking about these young quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, there's just like, it's not like they're elite. Justin Herbert, don't get me wrong, they're elite, but like there's these weeks where they can look very just like immature. I don't know, like immature. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what.
And you're gonna have those games. I understand you're gonna have those games. That's why I say all of that to say that's why I'm starting to realize I don't know if I can like rely on these motherfuckers to make the Super Bowl this year or next year or whatever. Like, I feel like you have to get to that maturation stage as a quarterback where you're now a real Super Bowl contender. Like, look, we're talking about Green Bay being possibly in the Super Bowl, and fucking, you know, they looked like shit week 1. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, the thing about Green Bay, low key is kind of like, they kind of like in that Saints bubble in a way. It's like the Saints missed their window with the last 2 to 3 years of Bree's career, because it was always like they were knocking, and there was always some tragedy, just how it ended. And now if you look at the Packers, I mean, bro, the last 2 seasons they've been in the NFC Championship. They're right there.
Yeah.
So this is the third that we're like, yo, you gonna do it this year? Like, and now, you know, the window's still there, but you know, you don't know how the offseason gonna play with Rodgers and how he gonna play that. But I mean, to your point,
well, no, I feel like it has to happen this year.
When people, it does.
If it's gonna happen, it has to happen.
But to your point though, when people, like, you know, when your team, and most importantly your quarterback, is battle tested,
they hit a maturation stage.
Them hiccups,
you don't worry about them.
The hiccups can't necessarily affect your standing in, like,
how
you're going.
Win games.
They're not gonna fuck up like that,
you can still win games.
They're really composed,
and you won't lose to bad teams. Like,
and then, so to your point, sometimes y'all could go on a streak with the quarterback,
fucking
like
Kirk
that, but
Cousins
sometimes at the most inopportune time, shit just started falling apart. I mean, Kirk Cousins is funny.
I was going to say the Vikings, like, they lost to Detroit.
He's having a really good season, man.
He had a good night last night.
He's having a really good, and you know, I really don't care for Cousins. I think everything is empty calories with him, but he's having a really good year.
And I'm starting to see that with him too.
He's having a really good year, but collectively, like, they've lost all of their games, a total of the games that they've lost by a total of 28 points. And like I think his touchdown interception ratio this year is like 25 touchdowns, 3 picks. So I'm like, damn, like, y'all just can't get over the hump. That's some coach shit. He's gone. That's just 100%. Like,
the coach.
When those are the type of losses y'all got, because if you look at the team, if you look at their fucking wide receiver, like you arguably have the best wide receiver combo in the league.
One of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bengals
Thielen
as
and
well
Justin
too.
Jefferson.
But like, yeah,
that's
like
crazy.
come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Evans and Godwin is crazy.
Stop.
Yeah. No, Jefferson and Thielen is stupid.
The defense, and then also, but no,
their defense is not very great.
Devin Cook, is that the running back?
Dalvin.
Yeah, he's out.
Dalvin
I think
Cook.
he's out for the year.
No, last night he had 2 touchdowns.
Last night he did play.
Yeah, he played last night.
Okay.
He's been having like
he had a fake
issues.
scared and he got carted off the last game. Did you
really?
not see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was crying. I was like,
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so okay,
I didn't see that.
Good.
But no, he's had some injury problems like throughout the year. Like he's missed. He has not played all games, and he's missed like a couple weeks at a time here and there. It's crazy how long the NFL season is because he's definitely had like 2 weeks where he hasn't played and then come back and then been out for another week. So they won yesterday. The last I saw, they were up handily.
Okay, they was on the outside looking in. They need to win like a lot of their games because they're 500 now.
Yeah,
so
they're probably like 500 right
everything.
now. You know what I'm saying? That loss to the Lions was terrible.
Yeah, you want to transition this?
Definitely. Yeah. You know what's funny? Like speaking of transitioning into basketball, like I was just gonna get into how I lost some bread from the Vikings losing to the Detroit Lions, which is like that shouldn't happen. Yeah, but bro, as far as the sports betting goes, college basketball has been my thing. I
just take your lead on that because I don't know.
You said what? No. I mean, I don't know about college basketball, but like no, like because bro, like I'm starting to realize like this shit is data, bro. Like it's analytics more than anything. Like, and I'm a numbers guy, so like I got like all I'm doing when I'm getting ready to place bets, I'm researching. Like I'll even get into it because I don't talk about like my process at all. You know what I'm saying? But fucking I do like research on what on just like what teams do. You know what I'm saying? So I have like a little bit of a formula of like shit that I look at, and then if it's what I like,
for like the total points
so what I look at,
how much they get scored on.
Exactly. So I'll look first, I'll look for matchups that are favorable, like a team that's nice at home playing a team that sucks. Yeah, they're like a team that's nice that's playing at home.
Just to boost your
no, I don't play parlays anymore. I mean, I do, but this is not what I'm talking about.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
it seems like you're going for the most best odds.
I'm going for the best bet, like the best.
Those are usually like smaller payout though, right?
Yeah, so I'll bet a lot of money.
Okay.
To make a little bit less than what I'm betting. So like you might bet 100 and make 90.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like then you'll get 190 back. So that's good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To me. So I'll look at a team that's nice playing at home, but then also like I'll play the spread. You know what I'm saying? Because usually in college blowouts are pretty common. You just hope that the game you pick is a blowout in your favor. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the gamble is. Like so like I'm looking at teams who are likely to blow out their competition. You know what I'm saying? And that I just, like I said, I go through the numbers. I go through like how much a team scores per game, how many shots they take per game, how many like what their field goal percentage is, how many threes they take per game, how many turnovers they have per game, shit like that, how many rebounds they get per game. And then I look at the team that they're going up against and what they do in the same categories.
Okay.
And if the differential is like something that I like, then I take that bet.
See, this is cool because you give it an analytic perspective. So this is just so
so I don't even really be watching the games. Like I don't get me wrong, I'll watch games when they're on, but like a lot of these games,
because you got that
like
money on it.
30 games. Well, not even that. Most of the games that I bet on, you can't watch. Like I mean, they're not on TV.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I watch just to see like what teams do. So like if I'm watching Iowa tonight, I might just take that as intel. It's like, oh, like I remember seeing them play. You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as the NFL and NBA go, definitely have had a little bit success with that, but I haven't really been betting on those. I've been more betting on college basketball. Like ever since Thanksgiving, like I spent all day Thanksgiving just like live betting. You know what I'm saying? And was killing it. I was telling Lucas the other day, I was like, dog, I felt like a zombie. Like I was just watching the live bets go all day Thanksgiving until it was like time for dinner. You know what I'm saying? And then from then on, I just been on college basketball. So I haven't really been like last Sunday, like I said, when I put in a parlay that had Minnesota to win on it and that lost. So like that's probably the only bet I've placed in the NFL in the last like 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Disclaimer, y'all. do the analytics if you're really gonna be putting money down on shit. Do the analytics, man.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Nah, for sure. Like he said,
make educated.
Yeah, man, because a lot of people be trying to go under emotions or what they think just feel right or sound right. Same thing with even like sniping an NFT project. Like, do the analytics.
It's crazy. It's like all my investors,
they can just help you.
All of my investments they look like gambles from the outside. Because I feel like now sports betting has become a stream of income for me. Like, I feel like now 100%. It's it's like weekly. I can guess how much money I can make if I'm making the right decisions. But like that's the thing. Like some things go. Man, it's solid. You know what I'm saying? Although it comes with a source of anxiety that's attached to it. But like
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. But it's been lit for me. So that's cool. But
it sounds like a man that's won more than he's lost.
Yeah, I'm way. And what's funny because like I definitely wouldn't keep doing it if I was
right.
Losing. I would definitely be like, all right, I'll take my shit.
You're letting us in on the actual methods. So
that's what the passion is talking now. I sound like how I used to sound when I was making videos in 2018.
I used this sound. Now I was like, a video.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? Yeah, editing. I got to edit this video. That's funny as hell. But so we're definitely gonna get into some Web3 stuff. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. We got a lot of shit to go over when we get back. Bruke got a new track for us to listen to. Yeah. That's gonna come on later. Yeah. Definitely heard that joint. That's what I'm saying, another banger. But we're gonna get into all of that, and we're gonna be right back.
Make sure my vocals right. Make sure the beat right. Welcome to the 5th show.
Time to cuff.
Powered by ItsNation TV.
My God, no!
ItsNation TV.
That's why I try to get in line.
Play, execute, have fun, dub.
I can do a lot more than what I think I can.
Yo.
Okay, so we're back. We're back. I guess we could start this Web3 talk with a little bit of Basel recap.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers went out to Art Basel in Miami.
Nice. It was very
beautiful weather, great time.
How was your take? I know you was in and out.
Yeah.
2 days,
my take.
2 days type
I was there for 2 days.
Okay.
And I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? There was met some cool people, saw a lot of dope art. Going to I at least hit up at least one NFT event. They were kind of scattered all over the place,
everywhere.
And I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was there for 2 days, so I guess my time was limited. But
the Coupe d'Etat.
You said what happened?
The Coupe d'Etat. I met you at the Coupe d'Etat.
Oh, that was what that place was called. That joint is very fun. But that was like more traditional art. Very hard art. Hard. I saw some really hard things in there, man. Really hard things in there. And then I met the dude who can't remember his name. I want to say like Tommy or something. Tim. Yeah.
One of the
dude who had
most
of he had a lot of them art the pieces
women
in there.
Yeah.
Some very fire pieces. I wish I could like bring them up right now, but they were very fire. But no, overall the time it was a great time. Met some cool people, found myself in the middle of some very funny and interesting conversations. So it was really dope. I feel like next year, or even just when I do like these types of things again, I need to tap back into I guess curating something to do. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you before, like when I used to hit up, it takes me right back to South by Southwest. I used to do like interviews when I was out there, set up the podcast and like record a podcast with people who I thought were interesting out there. Right. So I definitely felt like I did it like that. Like being out there this time made me realize I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't set up no interviews. I didn't do like nothing like that. I was really just like, I was really just like taking it all in. So yeah, that was kind of my main takeaway as far as like from a productivity standpoint, you know. But what about you?
Yeah, man, it was dope. You know, usually in years past, I was always trying to plan. Well, not necessarily plan. Like I was always aware of Basel, but it always just caught me off guard to the point where I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm pressing it. If I try to go, it's a little too late.
Yeah.
But this year it was definitely, you know, somewhat on my radar because, you know, being within this NFT space, you know, it's just submerging with all of the already ongoing art events. So you already knew that the NFTs were definitely going to be raided in Basel this year. So I was like, you know what? Let me make sure I'm down there, just see what's up, just catch a pulse of things, because that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been engaging with the community, and it's always been to my benefit, So
Yeah.
went down there, and also shout out my bro Mark Andre. He was also down there as well
Yeah,
too.
for
So we
sure.
kind of like the month before, we were already talking about going down there. So supported him at some of his showings. And yeah, man, it was really just a week of fucking plugging in, man, and networking.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the space, you know what I'm saying? Seeing these NFT hosted events, NFT curated events, just seeing the merge of all of it, you know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
how one event was really global in the sense that it brought all hubs down to one spot, you know what I'm saying? Even like at the Context Art Show, like it was literally just walls of different art houses from around the world that just rented it, that wanted to display like their art, their artists that was like representing their whole brand and things
Yeah.
of that nature. So it was very dope. Me myself too. I had to definitely shoot some content down there.
Mm-hmm.
Had to shoot some content. Shout out Chase Fetty.
Yeah.
Shout out Westside Gun. Shout out
Yeah.
Griselda and all them. That was dope. Got some shit in the tuck. That's gonna be dropping soon. Me and Mark dropped a video that actually dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
Money Ain't a Thing. We actually recorded that song a little over a year ago. So it's cool that we got to finally just put that out for y'all, because, anytime I'm in a different locale, like I'm always trying to just get a little content off.
Yeah.
Always trying to get a little content off. So that was dope. You know what was also dope, bro? Just
What?
the climate change, man. It
Oh
was
yeah,
just
the
like,
weather was crazy.
yo, like I could
Just felt good.
that's nice to, and right in December, 80 degrees. Oh man, let me take this hoodie off. I'm hot.
Facts. I do not need
I'm
this.
actually
Got
sweating.
got out the airport. I was like, I do
uncomfortable.
not need this.
Yo,
It
need
is
to take
hot.
this
Like
off,
it's hot with
and
this
I
on.
didn't mind that at all. So but yeah,
And then
man,
even when I
that's-
was going out, like even when what I'm saying, when I'm like getting ready to go out, and I'm thinking like, what am I? Like, am I gonna need this little jacket? Am I gonna need this little hoodie? No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. You go out in a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? You go down in a
I
little
like that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I really like that.
You can go out no
It's
sleeves.
really nice.
weather was great.
Yeah, I really
And it's
enjoyed those.
you
Nice
kind of
stuff like
forget
that.
it's December.
Man,
You know what I mean?
I like that a lot.
So yeah, that shit was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of there was. Did you sit in, I know you saw I know I saw the one conversation you sat in with Sursu, but
yeah,
were there
man.
like any interesting conversations you had, anything you learned in the Web3 space out there? Like, I know there's some things we're gonna get into as far as like with the
concepts,
the concepts and stuff like that, but before we get into that, what did you like learn there, if anything?
Was it more so of learning, but more like a reaffirming and just connecting and building, right? So yeah, shout out to Latasha, Amir, Stones, Zoratopia. That was basically, they had a day where they had like several events throughout the day. I went to the one at the top of the day, and also the one towards the later evening. We had went to that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, and they had a panel, and there was just basically just speak on like just how to traverse in the Web3, and the significance of building a community of people that's receptive to what it is that you got going on, and like how people should not be averse to these learning curves that present. So not necessarily learning something new, but just just emphasizing that you're gonna need coders, you need engineers, you need these developers, you need these different roles around you that maybe necessarily you haven't thought of before, because it can help you, just maybe if it's
saying like the average person needs these people.
No, not necessarily. I'm also talking, I guess, specifically to like the NFT space, and like if you're creating and things like that, just being able, like, the thing is, it's so tough because the NFT space combines like tech communities and art communities, and it's like, oh, like we do have maybe some commonalities between what we can do and maybe do some cool things, like separate of one another, we could go about just fine. Like, we don't need each other, but it's like to just bring each other's backgrounds. It's like, new solutions come about. And I think that's what's really cool about NFTs as well, because it makes me kind of, erase any borders of what I had, like what could be done. You know what I'm saying? Or people with different backgrounds just putting two and two together. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's more so of like, the conversations that was had when I was down there. But more so than anything, it was really just connecting and, making the presence felt, you know what I'm saying? Just making sure, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm present, That's why I wish that moving in the future, like you had said, definitely being a little bit even more intentful. And it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got some, there's some brand intent that we got going on for ourselves, that we down here. So even whether that be holding a show down there or shit like that, that we coordinate shit like that. So that'd be tough.
Big facts. So as we're talking about these NFTs and the Web3 world, let me bring up this little prompt right here. The secondary market is the primary market.
So okay.
So I mean, I feel like in NFT land or Web3, you know what I mean? Yeah, it essentially is. Like I agree with this statement. I feel like
so the initial sales don't really matter as much.
I wouldn't say the initial sales don't matter. I think it matters in the sense that, well, that's interesting.
Because one could
you know what I'm saying?
the primary market, seeing how it does in the primary market propels how the secondary even reacts.
That's kind of where I see with it. Like, but also too, something that I've noticed just with markets, it's like how you're promoting the thing. So, on the set, like, I can't explain what it is that makes the Bitcoin Angel go crazy on the secondary market,
go to $200,000
or Bored Ape, you know what I'm saying, CryptoPunks, all these types of things. But they were on the, like, when they were initially released, like, nobody went crazy for them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Bitcoin Angel, I don't remember. Because I got it primary, but I don't remember if it was hard or
Bored
not.
Apes went up relatively quick, but it was still at the point, even when it was at 1, 2, 3, 4 ETH, we still didn't see
it go crazy,
multiplying by 10 more. Like,
yeah,
no,
100%. But like something happened. I would say that the secondary is the primary market because it still has life. Like it still does, like essentially it's still doing what it is on the initial release in the it has the potential to, you know what I'm saying? The fact that, whoever created Bored Ape Yacht Club, like they're still getting sales as if they dropped it primary, on the primary market. But not having, I mean, it's interesting because I don't know if they're doing the marketing or if like holders of these Bored Apes are doing the marketing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't know who's the driver of the popularity.
I mean, it's definitely spread out. It's definitely spread
it's
out.
A little
at
bit
least
of both.
With successful communities like that, right? But yeah, I would say I agree too. Because that perpetuity, man, it's everything. And one thing that really distincts the two is, the primary market, just the price of what it was in the primary market can be vastly different from what it's going for currently. So just the royalty of what it could be going on the secondary market can be
more than what you got. Yeah,
the primary
exactly.
was.
And that's
so then at this point, it's like, the primary market, it's a afterthought at this point. We're never going there. We're like, especially with a project.
Well, then who's going to buy? Who's going to buy it first?
No, but I'm saying like a Bored Ape, like it's never going to $280. Like I don't see it going to $280 again. Like, do I see it dropping? Sure. You know what I'm saying? But from 200,000 to 280, it's like, no. It's like this market that it's in right now, and wherever it fluctuates,
this is the new primary.
It is exactly. This is the new primary.
Yeah, because you can't get it.
Literally, look at what a Bored Ape is like. If you have 5 Bored Apes, you literally have over $1 million worth in NFT. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah. But it's funny because it's funny too. I think people need to also realize, I'm just saying this, I don't know if people don't realize it, but it's something that I had to realize when I started like investing in assets that were like goods, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, because that thing is worth that doesn't mean you have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to find somebody to pay that amount for it. You know what I'm saying? That's but like if you got a Bored Ape, you're good, because like there's people in line for them right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's somebody that wants it for $200,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? So you're good, but like,
put something under a floor price, man.
People will that shit will go.
People
you know
will
what I'm
get
saying?
it. Put it under a floor price, it will go.
Yeah, I hear that. So this next one is interesting to me.
Okay.
Old media is re-centralizing while new media is decentralizing.
This one I really like.
I agree
with.
This
one was like poetic.
This is spot on.
I said, wow.
This is spot on.
How this resonated to me was like, literally think about even news stations, like traditional news stations.
Yeah.
Like, now they realized, like, yo, a lot of people are getting informed by social media. We should start incorporating Twitter live tweets. All this
we need to get
and
on TikTok. We need to do like,
even in that way. And now when we got this metaverse and all things of that nature, it's kind of like old media. It's like, yo,
come back to social media.
Yeah, and now they're like, oh shit. So now it's no longer ignoring or saying no to. It's like, damn, they've been receiving the info like this, and we're late.
Yeah,
because you guys have already chosen these new media outlets that have native to these spaces or have met you in these spaces, and you're like, no, this is convenient, or this is authentic to me, or this is resonating with me. Why? I don't care about what's traditional or where people have been known to.
What's traditional is not what is interesting to me or important to me. Like, because like we're even talking about, because like that's the thing, like the TV, like motherfuckers are watching shit on their phones, and it's like not even a question. Like, it's not even
at all.
It's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's not even a question. And there's still people who are just like, no, my thing is meant to be watched on a TV screen. My thing is meant to be watched in a movie theater. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, okay,
do the work to get people to go
like,
there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
100%. Because like the thing is, if you are in media, you are in the business of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for marketing. So like, just continue to do that, and that hundreds of thousands of dollars is just going to get less people in. But like, if that's your method, then go ahead and do it. But like, these other things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, these other mediums, these other forms, they're just happening. Like, and we don't decide. You know what I'm saying? We don't decide. You have to just observe what's happening and move where you want to be. Like, where your end goal is, like, move in that direction once you observe how people are moving in that world. You know what I'm saying? But we're kind of past the whole like throw money around and get people to go where you want them to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's you can do that and you'll get some people 100%, but like, that's not where we're moving, and we don't move backwards as people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't move backwards as a human race. We rarely move backwards technology wise.
And new media, like in this era, people are realizing you don't have to go towards this one centralized place to begin informed. There are so many places that inform niche communities.
100%
for you.
100%.
You know, and people are gonna be like, I'm going to go with that every time.
Yeah.
Every time, as opposed to some shit that's generalizing. That shit is not really addressing.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people like that don't include.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This isn't my news, or this is not how I want to be informed, or this is not how I want to be entertained. You know, so very, very a potent statement.
This is interesting too. I think media needs subscriber governance.
This was interesting. I took this as more so as media should be very conscientious as to the people that are tuned in, who are tuned into them, and be like, what's your take? What's your say?
I'm on both sides of the fence of this.
And I guess it's more so of a, at the same time too, media is overarching. So I guess that's something we could get into, because I can see many things where it's like, no, there isn't any subscriber governance needed pertaining to like what media we're talking about. And with other things, I could be like, sure, the people that you are, I guess, appeasing to, or whatever the content is for, I could see how it would benefit if you had like an open forum or an open thing where it's like, yo, like, you should have a say in this shit too. So it varies, but I'm trying to think of some specific things where I could be like, yeah, like, I don't know why this would need governance, and like,
I think when we talk about governance, my understanding of governance is, decision making ability. Okay. Is that accurate of what governance is? Like, being able to make decisions about how things should go or like what should be done.
But you know what? I just came to mind right now too when I think about governance. If we're thinking about new media, if we're thinking about maybe a company that's built, that's created in a
operating.
Web 3.0 land space, and it's a DAO, right? If it's a decentralized autonomous organization, it's already built as an infrastructure, like from the community. So therefore, it's like, no, it would need subscriber governance, right? Because like the ENS token, for instance, like the .eth, right? That ENS, like, one can view it as free money, but it also have an ENS token gives you say in like the governance or how this moves forward. Now, obviously, how much you have, I think, is commensurate with how big your say is.
Okay.
But it basically enables you a say in how something evolves over time. So if something is built within this space and created within this space, then I could totally see how that statement, you know what I'm saying, stands.
Yeah. So I hear that, and I think I see why people want subscriber governance and community governance, but I think sometimes there can be like too many cooks in the kitchen type vibes. I feel like we over romanticize like having governance.
Okay.
Like for me, there's certain companies that I believe in and I would put my money into and invest in, and I would let them just do their thing. I would trust their decision. For certain companies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't need governance over like how y'all decide to do things. You know what I'm saying? I'm investing in y'all's ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when we talk about media, okay, because media is so vast. Like I look at media as basically anything that you see, hear, read, anything. So it can be films. And like when I've heard like in these NFT spaces, like people, when we talk about using NFTs to fund films, right, and now you're giving NFT holders like say in how the story goes and all this type of stuff, I don't think that's necessarily a great thing. Like, what would Harry Potter be if J.K. Rowling took advice from everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that
you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be what it is.
I think that would be a clear cut of
or Star Wars and George Lucas.
I think that'd be a clear cut example of where it wouldn't be the best though, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think I don't think it's always needed. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I just think I think it's romanticized. Like I think it's kind of romanticized in the sense of like, oh, I would like to have a say in this, but like, do you have a valuable say? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we're just giving says to anybody who owns or anybody who has anyone who's a subscriber, you know what I'm saying? Like, right, then we're getting a lot of takes from people who may not, have the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you know what I mean? Have the right take.
I know what it is.
You know what I mean?
So
yeah. That's kind of how I feel about that one. But I do believe in some kind of like community governance, just not like across the board.
Right. 100%.
You know what I mean? You want to touch on this communication?
We could just let that. We could just let that.
It is what it is. Communication is key.
It's very key, but I don't think we need to delve on that.
Yeah,
you should definitely do that on your own time.
Communication is key. I mean, but like communication in what way? Like, what are we talking about exactly? Because are we talking about communication between?
I guess in terms of, let's put it in the perspective of NFT projects or
communicating with
communicating with your base, communicating with your community, keeping people up to date
on your Discord and all of that.
Exactly, like making sure people are always informed, and even in life, that shit just really leaks over.
And that's what I was saying. That sounds like a life thing for sure.
What I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Even in infrastructures within businesses or things of that nature, man, make sure everybody's on the same page. That's done by communicating. Shit might be awkward sometimes. Guess what? It doesn't matter. Communicate.
Algorithmic feeds are failing.
Yeah, I
agree with. I mean, I don't know if I agree with all the way.
But this is the thing, though. To me personally, I'm just like, I don't know how they're supposed to.
How they're supposed to work? Exactly.
So they're failing.
They might be doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Supposed to do, but
yeah. For them, the person making the algorithm, it's doing exactly what they wanted to do.
Benefiting off that, yeah. So I'm 100%. Like, no, to that point, it is because there's.
It's failing us, the creators.
I can gauge it somewhat through some insights, but there's really no way I can really. I've tried to influence upon it or press upon it. It's like, it's like, I really don't know. The control I have over it is really finite.
Because let's think about things that run. I mean, I feel like everything runs off an algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when in this sense, we're probably talking about social media algorithms, but like, I mean, like, I don't know if they're failing, dog. I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like, people talk about how they don't like when, they think of something or they say something and now they're seeing it on their feed is maybe but I think people do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't like it, but like, I've literally, and I'm not saying like I represent all people, but like, I was one of those people that was like, I don't know how I feel about it, but then I find myself buying things that I need because it was shown to me at the right moment. And it's like, I actually need this. Like, I'm not going to sit on my like high horse and be like, how did you know? I'm gonna like, no, I actually need this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's right here in front of me. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with like valuable information content too. Like, not just products. Like, sometimes I'm literally thinking about, like, how do you get sponsorships? And then, I see a fucking ad on maybe it's like a salesy person doing something, but like, that leads me to the education that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? So like, sometimes it's like a scammy type of or spammy type of thing, but that leads me to where it gives me an inkling of like, let me look for this. You know what I'm saying?
But I would just be like, that's just you more so tapping in and making it to your advantage. Like, this is how it's working for me. So this is how I'm just like,
and on the other hand, like, algorithm, when I hear the algorithm is failing, like, me as a creator, it's like, okay, I'm doing all the things to get my shit out there, but it's not changing. You know what I'm saying? So like, the algorithm's failing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read how to manipulate the algorithm, and what I did didn't work. So I guess it's failing. And that's like, I don't know if it's failing. I think they're still not. They're doing what they're supposed to. They're not worried about the creators. They're worried about getting in front of people.
Exactly. That's what exactly. And I'm going to speak from the creator perspective, because it's like, you're right. It is working for whoever's implementing the shit to work exactly to keep you, I guess, as a consumer, as opposed to getting your shit off. You know what I'm saying? And, but to that point, I'm very interested to see what are, what are the results of, people not fucking with algorithms, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how does it become like, I don't know, AI generated advertising and machine learning?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think I think the word algorithm is, well, it says algorithmic feeds. Okay. Because algorithms are part of everything. Like, like, that's like code and programming. Like, anything that has any kind of you put in an input and it responds, that's an algorithm. You know what I'm saying? That's being run. So it is going to be interesting to see how those develop in like the Web3 world and in like, AI and all this type of stuff. It's going to be interesting to see like how that develops in like real life situations, I guess, or real world situations. Individual creators are sharing less and partnering more.
Yeah, I definitely I found it funny just even through her recent IG posts. It's like literally how you can even share.
Oh yeah, yeah, big facts. Like, this person and this person posted this.
Yeah, because now it's like some creators, you already knew this if you just put two and two together, but now it's kind of being like, oh yeah, let's join forces and join our demographics together, and our shit's kind of in alignment, or it kind of makes sense, though. We're not forcing the thing, and boom, it would just be much more powerful that way. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like, I feel like people are now doubling down on like, amplifying what it is that they got going on, as opposed to just being like, yo, it's just me. It's like, no, people are starting to see it's like, yo, it's so many things that go into a lot of things that you see, you know what I'm saying? Despite whatever name that might come across, you know what I'm saying? That actual, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of like how you were telling me before, like, how Vice might rent out all of their like services and things like that, but it's a HBO production,
Yeah.
and that's even though that's at a larger scale, but that's basically what we're trying to say. Individuals are doing now, though. You know what I'm saying? We're scaling our things up, and even like on video sets and things of that nature. It's like, yo, I'm about to get my lighting guy, about to get the gaffer. I'm about to get my assistant director. I'm about to get my other camera dude. I'm about to get my PA. About things of that nature. It's like, yo, I used to just shoot the video.
Yeah.
Just
straight up
and do everything.
Yeah.
But no, that's not what's gonna push through now.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly with all of that. So we can go on to the next one. The metaverse is driving aesthetics for a new era.
So that's very interesting. Did you see that new promo commercial for Adidas coming into the metaverse?
No.
Oh man!
Although I did meet a dude that works for Adidas at Basel.
Oh, that's very tough. Yeah. Search it up real quick. You'll find it. Do Adidas, and BAYC, and you're gonna see this really cool commercial, bro, of like Bored and Punk's comic. It's really cool, bro. So, and like to this point, when they say that, I definitely see that, especially when these fashion brands and these, now they're gonna start going into the metaverse, and I'm thinking of just so many cool ways people might be able to just like try on things at the crib, like in the metaverse fashion, and like in terms of fitting, and like fitting rooms can like there'll never ever be a need for that anymore. Like I feel
fitting
like
rooms, because you can try on your clothes virtually.
Yeah, like bro, it'd be so. Go
Where
up.
would I find
Go
this?
up. There's so BAY right there. Enter the metaverse.
This?
Yeah, that. Yep. Crazy.
Let me see if I
Let's
can
put this,
share.
y'all. We're gonna put this on the screen if y'all can. I'll click in the live link, the link in my bio. You can see if you haven't seen this Adidas commercial. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if motherfuckers is gonna be able to hear it though.
Can you hear it? Okay, well, we'll play it after, but like you can see it too. Just watch it. It's pretty epic though. So it's looking. You're seeing the brand.
Yeah.
Like that's on the G Money, Punk's comic, Bored Ape, Club. It's a collab. Yeah,
between all three.
They're going to the Adiverse. You know what I'm saying? So here you go. Here's like you're seeing the collaborations. There they go.
Oh,
like,
that's interesting.
They're visiting the Adidas metaverse.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And yeah, when you start thinking about how people are going to start customizing their avatars and things of that nature, if you look at like Artifact Studios, what they got going with their avatars, they got some next level drip that they're wearing, and they're going to have an opportunity for you down the line in the roadmap to be able to redeem that for actual clothing.
Is that what RFTK is? Artifact?
Yeah, so I was
shit.
I was myself, I was saying it out, but then
yeah.
I was like,
and that makes sense. Oh my gosh, that's dope. But they're always doing interesting things, especially with like 3D modeling and like all this type of shit. That shit is so interesting.
I mean, they got that funding, you know what I'm saying? They got that
$1
$1
billion
funding
okay,
back in March,
Okay, so, it's lit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Intellectual property is still gold. That's 100% facts. Like all these
metaverse
things,
or no metaverse.
That's what I'm saying.
Make sure
like
that shit's locked down.
But also, I feel like it's becoming more like you have intellectual property. Like I have intellectual property. I think people, when they hear intellectual property, they would just think of like the Mickey Mouses and like the Disneys, like those things are. But
shit
like
that you literally created into fruition.
Yeah, like anything that you can make from your head into a tangible thing is intellectual property, and you should treat it like it's your gold. You know what I'm saying? I think people give away, and I'm guilty of this too, like giving away just like ideas and giving away like things just because I don't, I would rather it be out there than it be just like something that I gotta hold on to or whatever. But now I'm realizing that I like all intellectual property is gold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if you're famous or not. Like, you have anything on that?
No, that's facts. Yeah. I agree.
The new big brands are open source.
Yeah, so I guess this one will be, more so time will tell for real over time to see, because when I think open source, you know, kind of like when you think about Android, right? And like how that operates on that OS, like you can create your own apps, you can do whatever you want, you can put your own say into the mix, I guess. Where as opposed to like Apple, right? It's closed off. You're not gonna just be able to just put whatever you want to the phone or things like that unless you like jailbreak it, you know. But I'm just interested to see this. Like even when I see this, I'm more, you know, it's kind of broad to me.
Yeah.
I'm more so I want to see how that open source looks like when I think about branding, you know, or like, you know, earlier we were talking about fashion, like what Virgil did with this thing like that. So like what can, like for creators, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Can people impress upon and build upon current brands? Is that what it means? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But curious to see, you know, what that means in this, you know, in the landscape moving forward.
Yeah.
That's how I viewed it.
Yeah, to me this kind of goes back to the governance thing.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
like
figured, right.
yeah, I think there's a space for being able to have input on how something works. I just don't know if everybody should have that capability, you know what I'm saying? Or if that should be open to everybody.
I just got a
you know what I'm saying?
real quick. Kanye, the new sheriff at LV. I heard that. I don't know if it's official, but they did say something. They did. I did hear some mention of that. It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense.
Is that who he was yelling at? Like, should have hired him before he got the Nike deal? There was like,
I don't know if
it was somebody that he was screaming about, like, why don't y'all hire me or some shit like that. Do you remember what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it might have very well been Nike, and that's why he had switched over because originally he was on Nike, but I didn't think
but I'm saying like there was a like a luxury, like a designer brand that he was saying like he had told them about his ideas or something like that, and they like laughed at him or something like that.
He was beefing that Virgil got the spot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, he said, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, bet he confirmed it for us.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when he was like, yeah, like, but shit comes full circle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because Kanye is probably feeling like he put everybody on type shit. Yeah. You know, there was that line, like, you know, he was like 06, 07, like he was running around with the Karl Lagerfeld and the Taz Arnold.
Yeah.
And, you know, they was definitely soaking up a lot of game. And at that time, like Kanye was running around with Don C. And then, you know, he was running with Virgil, you know. So I definitely see how you can see that too. But, you know, I feel like with Virgil was fitting. But, you know, yeah, I would think Kanye, I wouldn't see why he wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. We can go on to as far as these new big brands are open, and then even like LV, a brand like that, open source. That's what I'm saying. Like even something like that.
Going into the metaverse, you know what I'm saying? Louis in the metaverse, something they already have like this little gameplay type thing.
I guess I need to know like what an open source brand looks like what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like am I gonna be able to go in and like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do some shit with LV just because I got an idea.
And I guess that's why I refer to like, you know, Linux, like the Linux operating system. Like you can literally go in and make your computer work exactly how the fuck you want it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, you know, and you can go ahead and download other people's modules and do it like that. So I know like in that basis you can, but a brand, you know, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna see if there's any brands right now that are operating like that.
All right. Mainstream NFTs need a cheaper blockchain, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, because I think like I don't know, like it's not going anywhere, and I still, for some reason, I do view those as like cream of the crop NFTs. But if we're talking about mass adoption, you're going to need to enable people to either, you know what I'm saying, buy in fiat or, you know, be able to resort to other alternatives and make sure platforms like that are operating like off of Solana and Tezos are up to speed. You know what I'm saying? And I know Solana is, you know, prioritizes scalability. You know, when ETH is more so on its privacy tip. So, you know, Solana's trying to onboard the world, you know, and when you think about a majority of the world, like even $50 is crazy for a gas fee. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people in the
Big
world.
facts.
So
And
never
we're
mind
upwards of what
300,
350, 400
in select
and
part
like,
of the day, you know. So
bro, like
that
it's
doesn't work.
crazy.
That doesn't work.
And that's just like
You know,
for one transaction.
right?
You know what I'm
That
saying?
doesn't
Like that's
work.
and that's on top of the transaction itself. Like it's crazy. It's crazy what gas fees are, just to, you know, utilize the blockchain. But I feel like, you know, as time goes on, that like those issues will be addressed.
Yeah,
Like
for
it has
sure.
to be become mainstream, I think, or
sure.
like as it becomes more mainstream.
Right.
And to get more people adopted to it, because I mean, even the beauty of the blockchain was being like initially with like Bitcoin and stuff like that, was the speed of your transactions and the you know, you're supposed to eliminate that middleman so you don't have to pay those fees to that middleman. You know what I'm saying? Like that was part of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
it's
everybody brings up the Western Union
to the
thing.
miners,
Yeah, everybody brings up the Western Union comparison of like, yeah, like you send $100 through Western Union, but you only get like 7 or 80 or 90 because they've taken their cut. So it's like, yeah, I would rather do Western Union than pay $500 in gas fees, if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like that shit is, I'm sure that shit's going to get figured out, because that is kind of the point of.
But that's why, that's why you got the mother joints. You know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So those are the prompts. I think yeah, those were really cool as far as like getting our brains thinking about like what this Web3 space is going to be like, because I think something also too I'm realizing is it's not perfect or anything like that, but it's being built like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all figuring it out. We're all learning. Like people are teaching other people, you know what I'm saying, every day. People are trying things and realizing, oh, like this works this way, or like this works that way. And then, you know, sharing that information, whether it's like on in audio rooms or like in tweets and, you know, podcasts like this and stuff like that. People are sharing like what they've learned in the space, but it's all malleable right now. It's all new. It's all changing. Like it's all changing and being developed like right now. You know what I'm saying? So nothing is kind of nothing is for certain. And I think for me at least, like thinking about it in these kind of like abstract ways helps, I guess, put it together.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you got to delve on it, you know, because those are like core concepts or like core question statements that you should just keep at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? It just helps you, I guess, see your direction in it. And even if it's not necessarily direction, just understand the space that a lot of the shit that we've been accustomed to is integrating into, right? So just to be aware of that. So just giving y'all perspectives of shit, you know.
Big facts. Big facts. I think it's time to get up out of here.
Yeah, man,
we had a great
time.
show today. Good to be back after
sure.
after a couple weeks break. Niggas been running around, but it's lit to be back. Yeah, man. Everybody
we should be back next Friday.
Yeah, we should be back next Friday. I don't think I got anything going on. You got anything going on? Yeah. So we'll be back next Friday. Everybody have a good weekend.
Real early.
Good week. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see y'all next week.
Early.
The live going for